I'll Fly Away Vamping. This is essential for backing up another banjo player, dobro player. It works great to fill the void whenever a mandolin player takes solos, because whenever they're doing a lead, lots of times we lose that backbeat, right? And the vamping can kind of fill that. So this is important if you plan on jamming with other people. All right, in this tune, we're just using, or in this arrangement, we're just using the root shape major chord, right? And we're just moving that around the neck to get our G chord, our C chord, and our D chord, okay? So we're playing that here, and if you look at the tablature, you'll see where to play. Look above the tablature at the little numbers, and that'll tell you what fingers to press down, right? So ring finger, 5th fret of the D, middle finger, 4th fret of the G, index, 3rd fret of the B, pinky, here's that guy, 5th fret of the little D string, right? Here's how it's supposed to sound. By the way, the little dot above this 3-note pinch here in the tablature means to play it staccato, which means short, right? So we're gonna hit the thumb note here, pinch these notes, and then right after we pinch, even quicker than I did just now, we're gonna do a gentle release of fret hand pressure, not enough that we lose contact with the strings, but enough that it just kills the sustain, right? So it stops the note from ringing. At first, you might need to go a lot slower to practice this to get the muscle control. An exercise that I use with people is like this. So I'll have them play on beat 1, beat 2, release on beat 3, count to 4. 1, 2, release, 4. 1, 2, release, 4, right? And so we can do that at a lot slower speed to develop the muscle control that we need, and then eventually speed it up and get to this point. Right, and you can hear I'm getting sympathetic vibration. This 5th string is ringing. Not much you can do about it, right? So we just get, because of the banjo head, whenever we're sending energy into this bridge, it goes into this banjo head and somehow back into the bridge and makes that 5th string ring a little bit. It's not a big deal, all right? You're not really gonna hear it in context of playing backup and playing with others. Right, so we're just gonna be using this same chord shape up to the 10th fret for our C, then up to the 12th fret for our D, right? So listen along to this thing to hear like where we're supposed to switch, right? And we ideally memorizing that sound. But before actually playing it, you might have to just work on your shifts and transitions between G and C, right? Getting that down till it's easier. And then doing the same thing when going G to D. Right, when you can comfortably switch between G and C like that, you know, kind of one little vamp, one little kind of boom chuck between each chord, you're going to be ready to start trying to actually tackle the actual backup arrangement. And when you do that, try to go beginning to end a bunch of times. We want to build up that endurance and consistency. And after you do get comfortable with this, try out a few of the licks. There's a lot of really cool vamping licks. Backup can be fun. Backup, you know, right now it might seem boring because we have it simple, but that's because we want you guys to make sure you're playing with steady time and to get the basics first, right? But after you get that, there's so much cool stuff waiting for you. So definitely check out a few of those licks. I want to talk through a few of them. So one of the first licks you'll come across in measure 1, we're going between the root shape that I talked about and what's called the first inversion. It's basically the same chord notes rearranged up the neck. So we're still going to a G chord up here. It's just called the first inversion because it's got the chord notes rearranged. But this is a great way to kind of get a different sound when just hanging on one chord. And right there, we're just using the same right hand pattern, but if you look at some of the other licks, there's some different right hand patterns and some different stuff that we can do to kind of dress this up a bit more. Right? That's kind of a more Scruggs style backup thing that's really cool. So we're still going root shape and then going to this first inversion, but we're changing up our right hand pattern and sliding out. right? We get to add a little bit of personality and also shift into position to hit that next root shape G major chord. All right, dive into some more of the licks and have fun with this one.